my note. Okay, here we go. So we are at stage 5, paragraph page 384. 384. Okay, here we go. And our last headword was kin, new word type of lesson. Okay, let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
First question. Does the weather have a strong influence over you? Do you, for example, feel happy in good weather and unhappy in bad weather? Does the weather have a strong influence over you? Do you, for example, feel happy in good weather and unhappy in bad weather? Yes or no?
Yes.
The
It,
weather
the
has a
weather
strong
has a strong
influence over
influence
me.
over me.
Very good. What is the name of the famous mouse in the cinema world? What is the name of the famous mouse in the cinema world? The name
The
of
name
the
of
famous
the
mouse
famous
in the
mouse in the
cinema world
cinema
is
world
Mickey Mouse.
is Mickey Mouse.
What do mice like eating? What do mice like eating? Mice like
Mice
eating
like
cheese,
eating cheese,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What part of the body is this? What part of the body is this? That part
The
of
part
the body
of the
is the
body
throat.
is the throat.
Very good. Which would you prefer? A job that gave you the opportunity to visit other countries or a job that gave you the opportunity to earn a lot? Which would you prefer? A job that gave you the opportunity to visit other countries or a job that gave you the opportunity to earn a lot? I'd prefer a
I
job
prefer a
that
job
gave me
that gave
the
me
opportunity
the
to.
opportunity to visit a lot of countries.
Very good. Okay. What do we mean by the underdeveloped countries of the world? What do we mean by the underdeveloped countries of the world? By the
By the
underdeveloped countries
underdeveloped
of the
countries
world,
of the
we
world,
mean those
we mean those
with little
with
industry,
little industry,
agriculture, etc.
agriculture, etc.
Very good. Where was this book printed? Where was this book printed? That book
That
was
book
printed
was
in the
printed
Philippines.
in the Philippines.
Very good. Where do we find sand? Where do we find sand? We find
We
sand
find the
on a
sand
beach,
on the
in a
beach,
desert,
in the desert,
etc.
etc.
When you're on holiday, do you enjoy lying on the beach in the sun? When you're on holiday, do you enjoy lying on the beach in the sun? Yes or no?
No,
When
when I
I'm on
go
holiday,
on holiday,
one more? No.
I
When
no,
I'm
when
on
I'm
holiday,
on
I
holiday,
don't enjoy
I don't
lying
enjoy
on a
lying
beach
on the
in the
beach
sun.
in the sun.
Why is it difficult to live in a desert? Why is it difficult to live in a desert? It's difficult to
It's
live
difficult
in a
to
desert
live in the desert
because there is
because
so little
there is
water.
so little water.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're knocking
You
on
are
the
knocking
table.
on the table.
Is there a bell in this school? Is there a bell in this school? Yes or no?
No,
There
there
isn't
isn't
a bell in
in
this
a
school.
bell in the school.
Very good. What do you do when you arrive at somebody's front door in order to pay a visit? What do you do when you arrive at somebody's front door in order to pay a visit? When I arrive
When I
at
arrive
somebody's
at
front door
somebody's front door,
in order to pay
in
a visit,
order to pay a
I
visit,
knock on the
I
door
knock on the door
or ring the
or
doorbell.
ring the doorbell.
Very good. When do people shout? When do people shout? People shout
People
when
shout
they're angry
when they are
or
angry
when they
or
think
when they think
somebody can't
somebody
hear them.
can't hear them.
Right? If there were some people shouting loudly outside in the corridor, would you be able to hear me? If there were some people shouting loudly outside in the corridor, would you be able to hear me? No. If
No,
there were
if
some
there
people
were some people
shouting loudly
shouting loudly
outside in the
outside in
corridor,
the
I
corridor,
wouldn't be
I
able
wouldn't
to
be
hear you.
able to hear you.
Very good. Do some people use walking sticks to help them move around when they get older? Do some people use walking sticks to help them move around when they get older? Yes. Some
Yes,
people
some
use
people
walking
use
sticks
walking
to
sticks
help them move
to help them
around
move around
when they get older.
when they get older.
Which animals like to fetch sticks that you throw for them? Which animals like to fetch sticks that you throw for them? Dogs like to
Dogs
fetch
like to
sticks
fetch
that
sticks
you throw for
that
them.
you throw for them.
Very good. Where would you prefer to live? By a lake or by the sea? Where would you prefer to live? By a lake or by the sea? I prefer
I
to live
prefer to live
by
by the lake
than to live By the
than to
sea.
live by the sea.
This evening, would you prefer to go out for dinner or simply go home? This evening, would you prefer to go out for dinner or simply go home? This evening,
This
I'd
evening,
prefer
I
to
prefer to simply go home
than to go out for
than to
dinner.
go out for dinner.
Very good. Okay, how do we sometimes form a noun from an adjective? How do we sometimes form a noun from an adjective? We sometimes
We
form a
sometimes
noun
for
from
a
an
noun
adjective
from an adjective
by adding the
by
letters
adding letters
ness to
ness
the adjective.
to the adjective.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Lateness.
Late, lateness.
When did you have your last illness? When did you have your last illness? I had
I
my
had
last illness.
my last illness 2 years ago.
Very good. What's the reason for tiredness? What's the reason for tiredness? The reason for
The reason
tiredness
of
is
tiredness
too much work,
is too much
not
work,
enough sleep,
not enough sleep,
etc.
etc.
What's the reason for darkness at night? What's the reason for darkness at night? The reason for
The reason
darkness at
for
night
darkness at
is
night
that the
is
world
that the
turns
world turns
completely round
completely round
every 24
every
hours.
24 hours.
What's another way of saying he lives on his own? What's another way of saying he lives on his own? Another way of
Another way
saying
of
he
saying
lives on
he
his
lives
own
on his
is
own
he lives alone.
is he lives alone.
Do you live alone or with other people? Do you live alone or with other people? I live with
I live
other
with
people.
other
Oh,
people.
you live alone. I live alone.
I live alone.
Wait, do you prefer to go on holiday alone? Do you prefer to go on holiday alone? Yes or no?
Uh, yes,
I prefer to
I
go
prefer to
on
go
holiday
on
alone.
holiday alone.
Very good. Has the lesson already finished? Has the lesson already finished? No, the
No,
lesson
the lesson
hasn't finished yet.
hasn't finished
It's
yet.
still in
It's
progress.
still in progress.
Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes? Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes? No, I'm not
No,
able
I'm not
to
able
speak
to
English
speak
without
English
making
without
any
making
mistakes yet.
any mistakes
I
yet.
still make
I still
some
make
mistakes.
some mistakes.
Are we already in winter? Are we already in winter? No, we aren't
No,
in
we
winter
aren't
yet.
in winter
We're
yet.
still in.
We're still in autumn.
Reagan, have we already studied stage 4 of the Callan Method? Have we already studied stage 4 of the Callan Method? Yes, we've
Yes,
already
we've already
studied stage
studied
4
stage
of the
4
Callan Method.
of the Callan Method.
What are the three forms of throw? What are the three forms of throw? The three
The
forms
three
of
forms
throw
of
are
throw
throw,
are
through,
throw,
thrown.
through, thrown.
Have you ever thrown anything away by mistake which was worth a lot of money? Have you ever thrown anything away by mistake which was worth a lot of money? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've thrown
I've
something
thrown
away
something
by
away
mistake
by
which
mistake,
was worth
which was
a lot
worth
of
a
money.
lot of money.
What? What? My smartphone.
My smart, my smartphone.
Very good. Well, that's that technically throw away. It's like you drop it.
Yeah.
Very good. Why do some people do dangerous sports in spite of the danger? Why do some people do dangerous sports in spite of the danger? Some people do
Some people
dangerous
do
sports
dangerous
in
sport
spite of the
in
danger
spite of the danger
because they find it
because they
exciting.
find it exciting.
Name some foods that are very popular despite being bad for the health. Name some foods that are very popular despite being bad for the health. Some foods
Some
that
foods
are very
that are
popular
very popular
despite being bad
despite
for the
being
health
bad
are
for the health are hamburgers, French fries, donuts, etc.
donuts. I love donuts. Okay. Do you think it's
Me
worth
too.
learning? Do you think it's worth learning a foreign language in spite of the fact that it's quite difficult? Do you think it's worth learning a foreign language in spite of the fact that it's quite difficult? Yes, I think
Yes,
it's
I
worth
think it's worth
learning a foreign
learning a
language
foreign
in
language
spite of the
in
fact
spite of the
that it's
fact
quite
that
difficult.
it's quite difficult.
In spite of studying a lot of words and grammar, do you still find English a little difficult? In spite of studying a lot of words and grammar, do you still find English a little difficult? Yes. In
Yes,
spite of
in spite
studying
of
a lot of
studying a
words
lot of
and
works
grammar,
In
I
grammar,
still find
I
English
still find
a
English
little difficult.
I a little difficult.
Wait, what words can we use instead of anybody, somebody, and nobody? What words can we use instead of anybody, somebody, and nobody? Instead of
Instead
anybody,
of
somebody,
anybody,
and nobody,
somebody, and
we can
nobody,
use
we
anyone,
can use anyone,
someone, and no one.
someone, and no one.
Did anyone come into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson? Did anyone come into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson? Yes, someone
Yes,
came
someone
into the
came
classroom
into the
at the
classroom
beginning of
at
the
the
lesson.
beginning of the lesson.
Who went out of this room 2 minutes ago? Who went out of this room 2 minutes ago? No one went
No
out
one went
of
out
that room
of that
two
room
minutes
two
ago.
minutes ago.
Very good. What's the opposite of the verb to land? What's the opposite of the verb to land? The opposite
The
of the
opposite
verb to
of the
land
verb to land
is to borrow.
is to borrow.
Should we always give back the things we borrow? Should we always give back the things we borrow? Yes, we should
Yes, we
always
should
give back
always give
the
back
things we
the
borrow.
things we borrow.
Borrow. If you forgot to bring a pen with you to school, would you have to borrow one from another student? If you forgot to bring a pen with you to school, would you have to borrow one from another student? Yes. If I
Yes,
forgot
if I
to bring
forgot
a
to
pen with
bring a
me to
pen
school,
with me to
I'd
school,
have to borrow
I'd
one
have to borrow one
from another student.
from another student.
Where give me an example of the word own after a possessive adjective. Give me an example of the word own after a possessive adjective, please. This is my
This
own book.
is my own book.
Do you live in your own house or does it belong to somebody else? Do you live in your own house or does it belong to somebody else? Yes or no? No.
Yes,
Yes, I live
uh, I live
in my own house.
in my own house.
Reggie, do you think this is probably my own book or do you think it belongs to the school? Do you think this is probably my own book or do you think it belongs to the school? I don't think
I don't
that's
think
your own
that's
book.
her own
I
book.
think it
I
belongs
think
to the
it
school.
belongs to the school.
Very good. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's your skin.
It's your skin.
Very good. Okay, and that's the end of our revision. Let's have new
Okay.
word. Very good. Okay, repeat. Wire,
Wire,
electricity,
electricity,
connection,
connection,
wireless,
wireless,
Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi,
hyphen.
hyphen.
Very good. Okay, listen. Electricity is a noun. For example, we use electricity to light a light. Wire is a noun. So this is a wire. For example, we use wire to carry electricity, to connect things together, etc. Connection is a noun. Wireless is an adjective. By a wireless internet connection, we mean that we can connect to the internet without connecting wires to our computer. Wi-Fi is a noun. Instead of saying wireless internet connection, we can say Wi-Fi. Okay, for example, some bars and cafes offer free Wi-Fi to their customers. Let's practice. Oh no, one more. Hyphen. Hyphen is a noun. So this is a hyphen. Yeah, like a dash, a hyphen.
I see.
For example, the spelling of the word Wi-Fi is W-I hyphen F-I. Let's practice. What do we use wire for? What do we use wire for? We use wire
We use
to
wire
carry
to
electricity,
carry
to connect
electricity,
things
to
together,
connect things together,
etc.
etc.
What do we mean by a wireless internet connection? What do we mean by a wireless internet connection? By a wireless
By a
internet
wireless
connection,
internet
we
connection,
mean that we
we
can
mean that
connect
we can
to
connect
the internet
to the internet
without connecting
without
wires
connecting
to our
wires
computer.
to our computer.
Very good. What can we say instead of a wireless internet connection? What can we say instead of a wireless internet connection? Instead of a
Instead of
wireless
a
internet
wireless
connection,
internet
we can
connection,
say
we
Wi-Fi.
can say Wi-Fi.
Do some bars and cafes offer free Wi-Fi to their customers? Do some bars and cafes offer free Wi-Fi to their customers? Yes. Some
Yes,
bars and
some bars
cafes
and cafes
offer free Wi-Fi
offer free
to
Wi-Fi
their
to
customers.
their customers.
Right? Spell the word Wi-Fi. Spell the word Wi-Fi, please. W-I
W-I
hyphen F-I.
hyphen F-I.
Very good. Next, repeat. Boil,
Boil,
fry,
fry,
roast.
roast.
Very good. Okay, listen. Fry is a verb. To fry means to cook something in hot fat or hot oil. For example, fried eggs, fried chicken. We cook eggs in oil or we fry eggs in oil. Okay. Roast is a verb. To roast means to cook something such as meat in an oven or over a fire. For example, we cook chicken in an oven or we roast chicken in an oven. Okay. Boil is a verb. Okay, the word boil is a verb. To boil is to cook something in boiling water. For example, boiled potatoes. We boil potatoes until they're cooked. It takes about 20 minutes to boil potatoes. I prefer fried eggs to boiled eggs. Three ways of cooking potatoes are boiling, frying, and roasting. Okay, so let's practice. Tell me three ways of cooking potatoes. Tell me three ways of cooking potatoes, please. Three ways
Three
of
ways
cooking
of
potatoes
cooking
are
potatoes
boiling,
are boiling,
frying,
frying,
and roasting.
and roasting.
Very good. Do you prefer fried eggs or boiled eggs? Do you prefer fried eggs or boiled eggs? I prefer
I prefer fried
to
eggs
boiled
to
eggs.
boiled eggs.
Wait, how long does it take to boil potatoes? How long does it take to boil potatoes? It takes about
It takes
20
about
minutes
20
to
minutes
boil potatoes.
to boil potatoes.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Brick.
A brick,
Very good. Okay, listen. Brick is a noun. A brick is a hard block of baked clay used for building walls, houses, etc. For example, a wall is normally built of bricks. Let's practice. What's a wall normally built of? What's a wall normally built of? A wall
a
is
wall
normally
is
built
normally
of
built
bricks.
of bricks.
Very good. Okay. Next, repeat as well.
As well.
Two.
Too.
Also.
Also,
Very good. Okay, listen. The words as well, too, and also all means the same thing. The word as well and too goes at the end of the sentence. It's always at the end of the sentence. But the word also usually goes at the first after the first auxiliary verb. Okay, let's practice. Where do the words as well and also usually go? Where do the words as well, to, and also usually go? The words as
the
well
words
and
as
to
well and too
go at the end
go at the end
of the sentence.
of the
But the
sentence.
word also
But the words
usually
also
goes
usually
after the
goes
first
after the first
auxiliary verb.
auxiliary verb.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. I will be sleeping
I will be
at
sleeping
3 a.m.
at 3
My
a.m.
sister
3 a.m. My sister
will be sleeping as
will be
well.
sleeping as
My
well.
mother
My mother
will be sleeping
will
too.
be sleeping too.
My brother
My
will
brother
also be
will
sleeping.
also be sleeping.
Very good. Okay, next listen. With the present simple and past simple, there is no auxiliary in the positive. So the word also simply goes between the subject and the verb. For example, we say he speaks German and he also speaks French. Let's practice. Give me an example of the word also when there is no auxiliary verb. Give me an example of the word also when there is no auxiliary verb, please. I love coffee
I love
and
coffee
I also
and
love
I
tea.
also love tea.
Very good. Next, repeat. Future continuous.
Future continues.
Very good. Okay, repeat. I will be speaking. I will be speaking.
I will be speaking.
Very good. Okay, listen. Okay, here we go. We use the future continuous for an action that will be in progress at a particular time in the future. For example, the sentence I will be sleeping at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning means that I will go to sleep before 4 o'clock and I will wake up after 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, I will be in the middle of a period of sleeping. Let's practice. When do we use the future continuous? When do we use the future continuous? We use. The
we
future
use, the
continues
future
for an
continues
action
for an
that
action
will be in
that will
progress
be in
at a
progress
particular
at a
time
particular
in the
time
future.
in the future.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I will be working
I will be
at
working
this time
at
tomorrow.
this time tomorrow.
What do you think you will be doing at this time tomorrow? What do you think you will be doing at this time tomorrow? I think I'll be
I think I'll be
learning English
learning
at
English
this time
at
tomorrow.
this time tomorrow.
Will you still be studying English in 50 years' time? Will you still be studying English in 50 years' time? No, I won't
No,
still
I
be
won't still
studying
be
English
studying
in
English
50 years'
in
time.
50 years' time.
Oh, I'll be 94 years old by then. Okay, nice. Where do you think you'll be living in 10 years' time? Where do you think you'll be living in 10 years' time? I think I'll
I
be
think
living
I'll be living
where?
uh, in,
In Tokyo, New
in
York, London
Okinawa
in 10 years' time.
in 10 years' time.
Oh, very good island. Very good. Okay. Then now let's move on to reading. Very
Okay,
good. Okay, so our reading is at stage 4, paragraph page 275. Our last headword was Switzerland. Okay, start at page 276. Purse wallet usually.
okay.